Chapter 89. Blood Sacrifice Ceremony. But the little girl saw the right moment and raised the coffin board to suppress it at the first time. And a roar rang out as the terrifying coffin board directly crashed into Tackle Heaven's hand. The two powerful forces collided, sending out a series of explosions, and the black-robed youth instantly suffered a heavy blow, directly being shaken out by the powerful force, spraying out a mouthful of blood. He coldly gazed at Kang Chon and the little girl as he said in a grim tone, "Not bad. To be able to injure me. You guys are qualified to know my name. Corpse Ground, Corpse Heaven and Corpse Earth." These were the corpse-catching twins, the two strongest among the young disciples of the corpse-catching sect. Kang Chon revealed a grave expression, suffering a heavy frontal blow from the coffin board. This person was only lightly injured. His fleshly body was truly terrifying. On the side of the flower wanting to be wrong, and Liu Sui Feng also watched the heart jumping. They know the fearfulness of the heavenly escape hand. Even a strong person like the mad warrior Thundercloud couldn't withstand the attack of the heavenly escape hand for 3 times, while in front of them this corpse-catching sect disciple resisted it with his fleshly body. This is how much power is needed. The crowd watching the battle was shocked beyond belief. The corpse-catching twins were too powerful. One could fight against the god of war, Zhao Wuji, and the other could powerfully defeat the little girl and Kang Chon joining forces. With such terrifying strength, it was no wonder that they had the confidence to obtain the position of the two young supreme beings. It could be imagined that after this battle, the corpse-catching twins would surely be famous in the Great Tank, and the youth supremacy would be well deserved. This young lady doesn't care what Corpse Heaven and Corpse Earth you are. Anyway, this is where you will die today. Suffer. Seeing that her strike was ineffective, the little girl once again raised her coffin board and smashed it. Boundless demonic aura swept through the air, demonic might overshadowing the world. Corpse Ground snorted coldly and met the coffin board with a fist. He no longer spoke much. It was useless to talk nonsense to this little girl in front of him. He could only use his fists to explain. He relied on his powerful physical body to block the sharpness of the coffin board. The might of the Geisha was undoubtedly evident. An evil light blossomed in his eyes as he coldly stared at the little girl, his boundless corpse chi swirling more than just in the sky. The little girl was stared at by him so much that the cold hairs on her back stood up. This guy in front of her was indeed very powerful, making her feel overwhelmed. On the martial arts arena, Kang Chon was also carefully observing the battle in the sky above. Once there was a suitable opportunity, he wouldn't hesitate to perform a heaven tackle in order to match the little girl's joint attack. However, Corpse Ground, who had suffered a loss once, was obviously very wary of the heaven escaping hand, and was also guarding against Kang Chon's sneak attack when he fought with the little girl. So much so that Kang Chon couldn't find an opportunity for a while. "Little white boy, don't make a move yet. This young lady can't hold on any longer. Wara, this son of a bitch is simply like a turtle shell." Soon, the little girl was completely suppressed by Corpse Ground and could only hold up the coffin board to barely fend off Corpse Ground's attacks. "Stinky girl. How dare you talk tough at the end of your life? Humph." Corpse Ground snorted coldly. His fists were straight, completely relying on his powerful physical strength to bombard the black coffin board that covered the little girl. But a treasure weapon was a treasure weapon. Even if his physical body was invincible, he was unable to destroy the coffin board. However, the powerful shocking force coming from above the coffin board made it very difficult for the little girl hiding in it, wailing in pain. Kang Chon became anxious and prepared to execute the heaven escaping hand. But at that moment, he suddenly heard a familiar voice coming from his mind. "Kid, if you fuse the star-absorbing technique into the heaven escaping hand, it should be able to have an effect on him." Emperor Dan's familiar voice caused Kang Chon to rejoice as he exclaimed, "Elder Dan, what happened to you? Why didn't you show up until now?" He was very strange in his heart when he met the little girl's master at Fengdu Mountain. Dan Huang shrieked and hid in the reverse heavenly cauldron, and didn't come out until now. And how he had summoned him before he didn't agree, so he didn't know what had happened. Kid, these will be said later, first save that girl, Emperor Dan said. Kang Chon instantly reacted. The little girl in the sky was already cursing him for seeing death. This girl is also really up. Begging for help and still dare to be so arrogant. Kang Chon really wants to slap her to death. In accordance with the Dan Emperor's method, Kang Chon operated the star-absorbing technique to integrate it into the heaven-escaping hand and probe towards the corpse land. The crowd immediately saw a shocking scene once again, as the huge heaven-escaping hand suddenly appeared behind corpse ground, holding it in place. Roar! Corpse ground roared in rage. He had seen the Kang Chon's strange movements and had been secretly guarding against it. But he still couldn't detect how the heaven-escaping hand appeared, as if it came directly from the void behind him, making him unable to defend against it. 1 hour, dead turtle. After beating this young lady for so long, it's time for this young lady to beat you up. The little girl was instantly relieved and came out from the protection of the coffin board, cursing while waving her small fists like raindrops to smash the corpse ground. Of course, this girl's fists were useless against corpse ground, but anyone who was randomly bombarded like this would be on fire. Let alone a strong person like corpse ground, who roared in anger. But the more angry he was, the more happy the little girl was to fight. She excitedly said, "I let you be arrogant. I let you be arrogant. Let's see if I don't beat you up so much that your mother doesn't even know you." Bang bang bang. Corpse ground smashed all over the body to make a touching sound. The little girl fist continuously smashed the corpse ground, watching the crowd below dumbfounded. This girl is really absolute. Stinky girl looking for death. Corpse ground was furious as he roared up to the sky. His majestic corpse chi violently erupted, about to break free from the heaven-tackling hand. The little girl immediately let out a cry of shock and ran into the distance in fear. Right at this moment, Kang Chon below coldly grunted, "Star-sucking technique." At that instant, the purple heaven-escaping hand erupted with a burst of black demonic aura, followed by an extremely evil aura spreading out, and the surrounding atmosphere was eerie and terrifying. Corpse ground was shocked. His eyes shrunk violently. His cold hair stood up. A dangerous feeling suddenly rose in his heart. The huge purple palm quickly transformed into a black palm. An evil to the extreme aura emanated from it. This aura was even more evil than the corpse chi on corpse ground's body, as if it was the most evil chi in heaven and earth. Sensing a great crisis, corpse ground roared and struggled. His entire body erupted with a thick corpse chi that impacted in all directions. But a terrifying scene appeared. Not only was the black heaven-escaping hand not broken free by him, but it also kept devouring the corpse chi he was emitting. In this way, the grip of the heaven-tackling hand became tighter and tighter, and corpse ground's flesh all let out a cackling sound, and the powerful squeezing pressure caused his face to distort to the point of pain. Corpse ground's face was filled with horror. What the hell was going on? His corpse chi was actually disappearing. The evil power coming from above the heaven-escaping hand was constantly devouring his corpse chi. Once his corpse chi was exhausted, he would definitely die. The crowd below was also shocked as they watched this scene. All of them had noticed the abnormalities in the corpse land. They felt that after the heaven-escaping hand turned black, it underwent a huge mutation and became even more powerful than it was originally. Oh my God, what is that? Suddenly, a cry of alarm erupted from amongst the crowd, attracting their attention, only to see that on the martial arts arena, Kang Chon's entire body was shrouded in black corpse chi, and a terrifying energy fluctuation emanated from him. Beside him, the two of them, Flower Thinking Wrong and Liu Sui Feng, were shaken to the point that they retreated back and forth before resisting this terrifying force. He's devouring the corpse chi from the corpse land. Hiss. To terrifying. The crowd couldn't help but suck in a breath of cool air, associating the corpse chi that was constantly disappearing from corpse ground's body, and then looking at the abnormalities on Kang Chon's body. It was obvious that they had thought of this terrifying possibility. Everyone was once again shocked by Kang Chon. This mysterious young powerhouse had shocked them again and again. Just how many more secrets did he contain? In the sky, corpse ground continued to roar in rage. He was becoming increasingly terrified in his heart. As his corpse chi continued to drain away, his strength was decreasing sharply, and he gradually couldn't withstand the squeezing pressure of the heaven-tackling hand. His heart was incomparably regretful, knowing that he had underestimated Kang Chon. If he had prepared in advance, he would not be as embarrassed as he is now. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in the world. At this moment, on the martial arts arena, Kang Chon's body was undergoing a huge change. The corpse chi coming from the corpse ground was too thick. He went all out to refine it, and instantly restored his depleted true essence. Not only that, the thick energy continued to increase, causing his cultivation to rapidly rise as well. In just a few moments, he had risen from the early stage of the 7th turn to the middle stage, then to the late stage and the peak. And at this moment, he was heading towards the 8th turn realm. Kang Chon was excited in his heart. This time it was really a great chance, getting such a thick energy for no reason. His cultivation once again got a huge boost. He went all out to refine the corpse chi that came from tackling heaven's hands. The purple true essence in his body was running to its extreme, already producing a silvery glow, clearly only half a step away from the 8 revolutions realm. At this time, Kang Chon had stopped paying attention to the outside world. He was fully impacting the 8 turns barrier. Today he was going to reach the 8 turns realm in one go. He's going to break through. Outside the arena, when Hua Huanyong saw the increasing energy fluctuations coming from Kang Chon's body, a trace of surprise flashed through her beautiful eyes. Then she alerted her surroundings and guarded for Kang Chon. Yu Suifeng assisted from the side, looking at Kang Chon in the arena, who was covered in corpse chi. A trace of amazement flashed in his eyes. The crowd outside the arena was also watching the scene in shock. Tens of thousands of people's gazes converging on the youth in the arena, who was wrapped in black corpse chi. Roar! Soon, a low roar came out from the mouth of Kang Chon, who was wrapped in corpse chi, followed by a matchless silver light that shot up into the sky, shaking the entire void. Kang Chon shook away the corpse chi round his body, and his entire body radiated a blazing silver light, like a small silver sun that shone brightly. He really broke through. 8 revolutions. He was only 7 revolutions before, but already, he actually defeated the Overlord Warrior and the Mad Warrior. This youth's potential is too strong. Once he forms the Dan, he will be unrivaled. The crowd outside the arena was shocked, both at Kang Chon's breakthrough and his cultivation. To be able to defeat the Jiden stage Hegemony Man and Berserk Man at the 7th turn realm. Only Kang Chon in the entire Great Tang was terrifyingly capable of doing so. Such potential was shocking. 8 turns, finally reaching the 8th turn. Kang Chon couldn't help but let out a long whistle that shook the 4 fields and spread throughout the entire martial arts arena. From the time he stepped out of Heavy Iron City until now, he had been pursuing the 9 revolutions. And in order to form the 9 revolutions Golden Dan, he had been suppressing his cultivation. And up until now, he had not been able to break through the Jiden stage. Now, he had reached the 8th turn realm, and was only 1 step away from success. Feeling the surging silver-colored true essence in his body, Kang Chon's heart was indescribably excited and thrilled. Although it was only a span of 1 realm, from the 7th to the 8th revolutions, the true essence in his body at the moment was far superior to the previous one in terms of both quality and quantity. If he were to take on Wu Gang right now, he would be able to defeat him with complete ease. Even if it was Lei Yun, he would be able to fight without executing his heaven-tackling hand. and once he did, Lei Yun was afraid that he would no longer be able to withstand a single bombardment from his heaven-tackling hand. Just as Kang Qion broke through the 8th turn, the heaven-escaping hand that held corpse ground tightly in the sky also gradually disappeared, because there was no Kang Qion to control it. Corpse ground seized the opportunity and escaped at the first opportunity. Huu! He gasped for air. His face was incomparably ugly as he stared at Kang Qion below, deep scorn in his eyes. In just a few moments, the corpse chi in his body had disappeared by 7 layers. This blow was just a great shout. Dead turtle, take life. The little girl, who was originally watching from the side, instantly shouted delicately, raising her coffin board and smashing it over. Battling with corpse ground,